Live from the brand new nest of the Golden Eagles on the campus of Del Oro High School in Loomis, Touchdown Productions Championship Television for the Foothills is proud to present
the Lady Hillman Road to Arco Arena.
Tonight, Sierra Foothill League leaders Placer, the Lady Hillman from Auburn, and the Lady Golden Eagles Del Oro from Loomis, both tied atop the SFL with 7-2 records, right here on your Foothill Game of the Week. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the new gymnasium for our first Lady Hillman telecast of the year. It just happens to be for the Sierra Foothill League Championship title, at least the first place slot at this point, with 2 games to go. And certainly both these teams that we're going to see tonight are going to go to the playoffs. As you see, the players from the JV game congratulating one another, and the final 49-23, Placer winning the JV game there. The man on the right you see in the green shirt, Dave Kerr from Del Oro. Dave Kerr from Placer. And he has surpassed the 200-win mark this year here a few games ago. Dave, a good guy, and Auburn Little League guy for many years, and switched over to girls basketball several years ago, and in short order has won some 200 games with the JVs. They've only lost 1 game this year. They just have had an incredible season. Out on the court now, the Del Oro Lady Eagles, the varsity squad, is out on the floor, and now the Placer Lady Hillman in the white tops there with the green. The bottoms are coming out. These two teams, Placer 20-4 on the year, 7-2 in league play as we mentioned. Del Oro 19-4 on the year, also 7-2. And again, with 2 games to go, it's very, very tight in the power rankings, as Placer is ranked number 3 in the power rankings. Del Oro is ranked number 4, just 1/100th of a point behind Placer. St. Mary's of Stockton is ranked number 1. Sac High, which has to play Burbank again, is ranked number 2. So Placer or Del Oro with a win tonight could maybe even move up to number 2 in the power rankings, and if they win out, would probably stay there if Sac High loses. And it's real important, Terry, to be in the top 4 in the power rankings, because if you are, then the future's in your hands. You'll get a first round home game, and if you win that one, you'll get a second round home game, and that's pretty important this time of year.
Yeah, it's really key to get a good seed in the playoffs. You want to play as many home games as you can, and that's what makes this game so fascinating this evening. Is oftentimes this late in the season, these are the dog days of basketball for high school players, but not here tonight. There's so much on the line. First place in the league, playoff positioning, power rankings. This place is going to be filled with electricity, and boy, this is just what you wait for. And if you're not interested in this tonight, Pete, then you just don't like high school athletics.
And it's a beautiful new facility here that was built with the tax override measure that passed several years ago, first one in eons, and they have built themselves a very nice facility here at Del Oro, and a great game that we have on tap. Way to break in the new facility for Placer versus Del Oro. The boys played here a few weeks ago. Tremendous game. Del Oro winning the game at the end. And now the girls get together for the first time. Well, we're going to talk to you more about tonight's game in just a little bit. But first, Touchdown Productions presentation of the Lady Hillman Road to Arco Arena is being underwritten by all 3 locations of Liberty Motors. Gary Alcombrecht has created more selection for you with the addition of Liberty Motors in downtown Grass Valley. So now you have 3 Liberty Motors to choose from: Freeman Lane, downtown Grass Valley, and Liberty Motors in Auburn.
Hanson Brothers Construction and HBE Rentals. Helen Orson and Jeff Hansen, along with Sue and Larry Peterson, are general contractors who can also provide you with ready-mix concrete that is computer batched in a variety of colors and radio dispatched to your site. Hanson Brothers Construction and HBE Rentals.
And speaking of heavy lifting, Taylor Heavy Hauling. With 35 trucks at their disposal, Richard, Sheila, and Dusty Taylor specialize in big heavy hauling, but they can also haul the little things for you as well. For contractors, businesses, and personal hauling, Taylor can handle all of your transportation needs. Taylor heavy hauling.
Ray's Radiator Service and Douglas Automotive, owned by Judy and Bob Hillman since 1957. Ray's Radiator has now joined forces with Douglas Automotive to provide you with professional radiator repair, including cleaning and recoring and complete automotive service. Ray's Radiator Service and Douglas Automotive.
By Hometown Realtors, whether you're buying or selling, the Hometown Realtor team is always there for you. From the very start to the finish line, Sue Thompson and her team go the extra mile for you until the day you move in or move out. Hometown Realtors, proud sponsors of Lady Hillman basketball.
And Sierra West Sports, the Bruce family, has a new sports store just for you, specializing in one-stop shopping for all your team sports needs, and every school can participate in their Hooked on Sports program, which allows you to support your school with sports equipment. Sierra West Sports.
And, of course, by Touchdown Productions, championship television for the Foothills. Pete Dufour, along with Terry Tangney, and our stat guy, Allan Barros, will join us tonight, bringing you all the action. And we want to say thank you for choosing us for your family viewing. Be sure to watch and tune in the next game of the week. And we'll be traveling up to Nevada Union to watch the Miners take on McClatchy boys basketball in the Metro League Championship game. I hear the voices now as Gil Dominguez is down on the floor, and he has got Tony Camillucci and Mike Takayama, the two coaches for tonight's game. And Gil, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Pete. We're down here in the beautiful brand new gym, and with me is Coach Mike Takayama, like you said, and of course Tony Camillucci. And we'll start with the home coach right here. Mike, what a beautiful new facility you have here to play in.
Yeah, it was worth waiting for. We've been wanting this for quite a while, and with the bond measure, and you know, we couldn't ask for anything nicer, and it's a nice venue for this game tonight.
Now, 20 years coaching here at Del Oro, change into a new gym. You bringing along some of the traditions from the old gym, or how are you working that out?
Well, that's right. Well, we don't have the back gym to kind of give us an advantage anymore, but with the longer gym, we've been able to have some success as far as getting out on the break and stuff. So we're trying to make this an advantage in the transition. So we'll see what happens tonight.
So you've altered your style of play a little bit because of the new building.
Well, I think it's more that we just happen to get some players in that can play that transition a little bit more than we have had in the past. So it's just kind of a changing the guard.
And, of course, your opponent tonight, the Placer Lady Hillman. Tony, another visit with the game of the week and the Lady Hillman. Nice to see you.
It's good to be here. Thanks for being here.
You guys are having an outstanding season this year.
Yeah, we kind of hoped with the three seniors that played as sophomores on the varsity and some other seniors pitching in. Yeah, we'd hope it'd be a good year, and it has been.
Now, you guys have played Del Oro once already. What can you look forward to tonight? What are you expecting from them?
Well, they're going to be a lot more difficult in their gym, obviously. Mike said the length of the floor. You know, we're not used to running that extra 10 feet in practice, so we may just stop 10 feet from the baseline, wonder what's going on.
Shoot the J.
Yeah, right. But we expect a great game, great competition. It's a nice crowd here tonight, so it should be a good time.
And your rivalry with Placer goes back a number of years. Always a great game when you guys get together.
Oh, yeah, you kind of just throw out the stats and anything else. You know, both teams know each other so well. It's really hard to kind of get into a flow sometimes, but I think tonight, you know, we'll see if we can do it a little bit better than we did when we played up at the Earl Crab. So.
Right, the venerable Earl Crab. Right. Now, the standings, you guys are very, very close.
Yes, you know, we're all vying for first place, but this doesn't guarantee anything. You know, we both have tough games ahead of us also, but it definitely gives us a leg up on the run to the championship at that point.
And Tony, you're riding pretty high up in the power rankings right now. Has it been hard to motivate the girls to stay at that high level?
No. I mean, we're way ahead of Del Oro by a 1/100th of a point. So, you know, this is a big game because it's going to boost one of us to that 3 spot and help us secure the top 4 spots to get a couple home games if you're fortunate enough to win the first game. But this is more of a rival game, and we're not thinking about our record or power rankings right now. We just want to play good basketball the next hour and a half.
Well, it's important to play good basketball, and at this time of the year, every win is important, and you want to keep on winning. Mike, how important is that to you to just stay on the W column?
Well, you always want to finish off strong going into the playoffs, and I think it's really important for both teams to play well and kind of use it as a springboard also for the playoffs. And I think that, it's going to be a tough game tonight, but I think if you play well, no matter what happens, you can take that with you, and the tough competition will only help you during the playoffs. So playing the SFL every ball game is pretty tough. So I think this is really going to help us out in the long run.
And who's left on your schedule?
We have both Wood Creek and Roseville, so two very tough teams.
All right, and Tony's talking to the ref over there.
He's already trying to get the edge on the refs already, you can tell.
Well, you got the height, Tony. You got the height factor right there. And Mike, we're talking about that. You're abnormally tall, for a coach.
I was telling the official that Takayama would rather be on camera than talk to the officiating crew, and I was willing to step back and talk to him. So that ought to help out.
All right, well, I know you guys know each other very well and are great competitors, two great schools, so good luck to both of you tonight on tonight's game.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
All right, there you go. Mike Takayama and Tony Camillucci here on the floor as they get ready to do battle. And Pete, like you said, they know each other very well. The teams know each other. And this is really what high school basketball is all about. And Terry, I think you said it right. If you don't like a game like this, then you don't like high school basketball. And at this time of the season, there's really electricity in the air. This is a playoff atmosphere. The playoffs are really here already in the final games of the season. Well, guys, let's throw it back to you.
At this point in time, you're exactly right, Gil, especially at this particular game, because there's just so much at stake. You've got two veteran coaches here. They both know each other's style very well. You've got two teams that are playing very well this late in the season, and it is essentially playoff time.
And again, as they they touched on a little while ago, if you've got a win tonight, then chances are very, very good for you that you're going to be in the top four, and you might even just win yourself a Sierra Foothill League championship. Now, that's something that hasn't happened here in some time first of all, for Tony. He hasn't won one since 2001, but Mike hasn't won one since 1999. It was every other year in the 90s for the Sierra Foothill League for Del Oro. But Tony won his in 2001 when Paulie Dong was a senior. And Mike has 6 section championships. Tony doesn't have any yet. And some say this could very well be the year for Placer.
Well, those thoughts are always in coaches' minds. Sometimes they put them as far in the back of their mind as they can. But you can't help but think about those things. But what the coaches, these are, again, two veteran coaches, and they realize this, and what they need to get across to their players is that there are still league games left, and it would be a real tragedy to win tonight and then lose one of the next 2 games. Not that the teams that they're going to play later in the year, in the league season, are lesser ability or what have you, but you have to convince your players and make them understand that every league game counts 1, and you have to win them as they come. And boy, if they win this game, whichever team wins this game tonight, it's going to be a big burden on the coach to make sure they're ready for the next 2.
You can't win 2 tonight. You can only win 1, huh?
You can only win 1 tonight.
One at a time.
And
Placer still has to play Rockland.
It only counts for 1. It's a big one, but it's only 1 in the league standings. And next week, it's going to count for 1 again.
Placer plays Rockland next week with 6'9" Lindsay Hayward, formerly of Forest Lake Christian. If you read the story in the Sacramento Bee today, she's on her way to Virginia, University of Virginia. She's got a lot of developing to do, but she is 6'9" every night. And Courtney Buns is 6'2". Danny Buns is we have another Super Bowl champion from the Roseville area in our midst, as the linebacker from New England was Brewski.
Tony Brewski.
Brewski. Well, they call him Brewski.
Yeah, I know.
Brewski from Roseville, and Danny Buns from formerly with the Niners. And the Niners' big win in the Super Bowl. Anyway, his daughter plays for Rockland. They can be very, very good. They're very well coached. Placer handled them last time, but that doesn't mean anything. I think Rockland knocked them off last year, and won the Sierra Foothill League last year. So Yeah, this is, we look at championship implications, and this is a huge game, but I think the coaches just want to win this game, and they'll worry about next week. Let's take a look real quickly at some notes. Last game, Placer did a good job of taking away Del Oro's primary options, and Mike Takayama says they really struggled to get into their offense. Placer really extended on their half-court defense, and he was very impressed with Thierry Dvorak, who just destroyed the Eagles in the third period. Eagles were out-rebounded by 12 in that last game. Mike wants transition points. He says we need to be up by 6 or more baskets in transition. Placer's very good in the half-court defense and half-court offense. He says we know each other very well. It's just going to be who is going to execute. He thinks the Eagles need to get a lot of steals. For Placer, Rachel Hare has not been shooting the ball particularly well as of late. So they've been looking at Laura Schoenhoff and others. And it was the defense, though, of Hare in last game that was just key as she bottled up Mackenzie Bailey, who averages 14 a game for Del Oro. There you see the standings. Placer at 20-4, 7-2. Del Oro 19-4. Now, Rockland probably isn't going to sneak up there and win this thing, but they can create a lot of havoc. And Roseville has got to be one of the best 6-4, 17-8 teams. And their point guard is just phenomenal. Tiernan is her name, and I mean she can handle the ball, she can shoot, and she leads the league in assists. She's up there in several different categories, and she is a lot of fun to watch. Roseville beat Placer early in the season. Placer came back and beat him at the Earl Crab a couple of weeks ago, I believe. And as a result of that one loss and then the other surprising loss to Wood Creek, where Placer was up by 17 points in the first half and then ended up losing that game. Now our national anthem. Del Oro chorus here.
You know, Pete, that's always one of my favorite parts of high school basketball games, when they sing the national anthem. Any kid or group of kids who can get out there,
sing that song
in front of the crowd and sing that song, I'm in favor of them.
All right. We're going to get our starting lineups, I believe, announced here in just a little bit. We'll tell you right now that our officials are Greg Oliver. Greg's the taller one. Terry Howard is the other one, and two good officials for tonight.
Two very good officials, both veterans, and it's exactly what it should be. This is a big-time game. You should have big-time officials.
Well, we have a moment. I think they're trying to get the PA system to work here. We want to thank, first of all, the principal, Bob Christensen, here at Del Oro High School for welcoming Touchdown Productions and making it possible for us. And we also want to offer our well wishes to Del Oro's athletic director, Don Gallardo, who is recovering from a rather involved knee surgery. Touchdown Productions thanks Dan and the principal Bob and the whole Del Oro program for allowing us to be here. We wish Dan a speedy recovery. And the first televised broadcast game from the new gym here at Del Oro. We're going to do it tonight. And Terry, I'm looking forward to it. And Allan Barros, our stat guy, we're just about ready to go. Looks like they have canceled the introductions. And so we're going to get started here. I'll tell you who the starters are. Oh, no, they're going to start them again. Yeah, we get the PA out. We'll tell you who they're going to be anyway. First of all, Del Oro, Mike Takayama is really shorthanded tonight. If we can get a shot at his bench, you'll see he's only got two players. Right now out on the bench. Rebecca Arndt's going to jump it up with Kelsey Burns. Rebecca on the left, and the ball comes to Tiari Dvorak on the wing, number 33. Laura Schoenhoff, number 11. And there's Rachel Hare's first three. And that is so huge. This young lady has really been struggling with her scoring. And when she's on, she's one of the better scorers in the entire Sacramento area. That three-pointer was huge.
Didn't appear to be any big game nerves on that shot, did there, Pete?
She's a big game player. Burns with the rebound, saves it under the basket, and the shot is missed, and it went off of Burns again, and it'll be Del Oro ball, as it was Emily Johnson over there to get the rebound. Emily's just a freshman, 7.4 points and 4 rebounds a game, 4 assists, and 3.5 steals a game. And Laura Schoenoff, who knows her well, is on her. That looked like a travel, but no call. Arndt blocked by Laura Schoenoff, 5'3" sophomore.
Well, this is not a good defensive start for the Lady Hillmen. They've given up 2 offensive rebounds in the first sequence of plays, and that's not a good sign.
There's another block there. Now as we're looking at the three-pointer by Hare, but here come the Hillmen, and Tiari Dvorak underneath and misses the shot, and it's going to be off a Del Oro player. It'll be Placer ball, and Jill Taylor, number 55, will inbound the ball. Got to get the lineups down for you because we thought they were going to do starting lineups, and we were going to announce them at the time, but we'll get them in there, don't worry. Here's Emily Johnson, and nice left-handed runner. Doesn't go, though. The rebound by Burns.
But that's exactly what Coach Takayama is looking for, a nice transition shot. You'd hope that they'd make that layup, but that one didn't go.
Hare from the same spot. She's got 6 points early. And Mike Takayama's got a pit in his stomach right now, I'm telling you.
It doesn't. They're going to have to do something about that.
And she was way behind the line. This is a young lady who was shooting 40% from the three-point line earlier in the season, down to 31% now. But as we mentioned, she's a big game player, and she is stepping up early. She is not afraid to shoot. That may be an understatement. That's her thing. But she has so many things. She plays great defense, and right now she is guarding Mackenzie Bailey. There's a foul on the shot. It'll be a 2-shot foul.
Pete, this is a little interesting strategy here by the Del Oro Golden Eagles. They have been just driving the ball right to the basket on each possession so far in this game, and it looks like that's something that they have planned, and maybe they're trying to get some fouls on the Placer players inside, but so far that has been their half-court offense. Dribble, drive, right to the basket.
There's Mike Takayama there, and that's Mackenzie Bailey, the redhead, and she puts it up and puts it in. She gets the second one. It's 6-1 is our score, and that ball is off of Del Oro right in front of Coach Takayama, the dean of the Sierra Foothill League.
Boy, what a record he has, huh?
He got his 300th win a few years ago, and again, 6 section championships, probably 6 or 7 Sierra Foothill League championships. Been to the NorCal finals one year with Hannah Turner and Candace Regan. And we got a foul coming up on Placer. Let's see. Foul's on Tiari Dvorak, number 33, her first personal, second team foul on Placer.
All right, well, let's take a look here, Pete, and see if they continue this dribble penetration right to the basket to see if that is what they're really trying to do.
Scramble for the ball. It'll be Hillman ball.
Other than the 2 3-point shots, everybody else looks kind of nervous, Pete. Balls bouncing all over the place, dribble off the foot.
Burns top of the key. This is Schoenoff on the right. And the ball's loose. Hare's on the floor. She gets it out of there. There you see the hustle of Rachel Hare. School record last year with 20 charges taken. Oh, they call a charge on
traveling
on Kelsey Burns. She thought that was a foul.
But another turnover.
Let's see if they can turn this into a point. Got a foul called. This was on Schoenoff, I believe. Laura's first personal. That's a 3rd team foul on Placer. Del Oro still hasn't picked up a foul here in the first quarter. It's 6-1. 2 3-pointers by Rachel Hare and the 1 free throw by Mackenzie Bailey, and that's your score so far with 5:25 to go. That's off Del Oro. It'll be Placer ball.
Another turnover. There are some big game jitters out there.
How many turnovers do we have? We're going to be checking on that with Allan here in just a little bit. Here's Tiari Dvorak on the wing. This is Jill Taylor. Drop it off to Tiara, and the other side, she loses her footing, and they're going to call a foul on, looks like going to be on 21, I believe, Jessie Westlake. She's an important girl, Terry, because she, not only does she score 8 points and get 7 rebounds a game, she can rotate through both the backcourt and the forecourt, and they only have 7 players tonight. Mackenzie Bailey with the steal, and she goes to the hole and scores. Bailey picking up a couple of points. It's a 6-3 ball game now. Out of bounds, Placer ball. How about the turnovers, Alan? Where are we?
So far tonight, Placer's taken 3 turnovers from Del Oro. They haven't turned any into points yet, but as you just saw, Del Oro Mackenzie Bailey got the steal right there and took it all the way in for the easy layup.
That foul is on number 22, Bailey. That's her first personal and second team foul on the Eagles. In the corner for Hare. She's going to shoot. Before she even looked at the hoop, she had that ball on the way.
That one was going. There was no doubt about that. She's feeling it.
All right, she's 2 out of 3. She's hitting 67. Now here's the other gal that can shoot, and that's Dougherty. The rebound by Arndt. Put back is around and in.
And that's another offensive rebound by the Golden Eagles, and the Lady Hillmen really need to solve that problem.
Katie Dougherty versus Rachel Hare. Nice story in the Auburn Journal about it today. They have played in summer ball together, and Rachel is just not going to be denied tonight. That's 3 out of 4. Unbelievable. You get her going, there's no stopping her.
She is in rhythm at the moment.
This is Westlake for 2. 2-pointer for Jessie Westlake.
Looks like both teams are getting a little more comfortable. Looks like both teams are getting a little better rhythm. I think this game is going to get nothing but better by the minute.
Run that play where they get the ball to the wing, and then Tiara Dvorak goes on the opposite block. They try to lob it to her. She was open that time, but Taylor lost the ball. When she got it back, she threw it away. 9-7, Placer with the lead. 3:48 to go here in the first period. It's been a good game so far, and Casey Ricks, the freshman, is getting up off Coach Camillucci's bench along with Felicia Myers. And there was a no call, and now we got a foul called on Del Oro, and it'll be Placer ball. Let's see who the call's on. It's on 21, that's Westlake, and that is her second personal, third team foul on Del Oro.
Rebecca Arndt is just going after every single ball that Del Oro shoots. She is getting a hand on it or getting it. Placer really needs to do something to get her under control.
And look at this move here, Terry.
So they can get the boards controlled.
And with Burns out of there, Ricks, the freshman's going to the post. She's about 6 foot. She's going to be guarding Arndt, who is 6'3". But also off the bench is Jessie Burton. And she goes 6'1", so Del Oro's up there big right now. Tiara Dvorak is going to be guarded by Burton. Now Hare will inbound underneath the Hillman basket. Myers on the wing to Schoenoff between the circles. To Myers, runs into a brick wall. It's a shooting foul. And I believe that foul is going to be on number 33, Katie Dougherty. And it is. Dougherty's first personal, fourth team foul on Del Oro.
Really a nice pass by Laura Schoenoff. That position was wide open there. And she saw it very quickly, got the ball right to her.
Myers with the first one, 10-7 Placer, up by 3. Well-played game here, 3 minutes to go in the first period. Del Oro scored only 2 points in the first quarter last game. Arndt with the rebound off the missed shot. Now Dougherty, it's out of bounds off of her, and it's Placer. No, it's going to be Del Oro ball. I guess it went off Tiara Dvorak.
I think we need instant replay on that one.
Well, she didn't complain, so must have been something we didn't see. Look at that lob pass down low to the little girl, and then back to Arndt. 2 points.
Sensational
Nice
play.
play.
Well diagrammed, well executed.
If anybody can diagram an inbound play, it's Mike Takayama.
There's another one.
Tiara for 3. Tiara Dvorak. They have counted on her a lot from the outside. She can put the ball on the floor off the arc and go to the hole, so they have to respect that, and she's often open for the 3-pointers. Dougherty, and Dougherty picks up her first 2 points of the night. This girl averaging 13 a game.
Del Oro again on the dribble penetration. That seems to be their attack here in the first quarter.
Myers looking to Ricks. There's the lob.
That's a great play.
A little bit too much of a lob. And Dvorak gets it into Ricks. This girl's got some post moves, and it's going to be a shooting foul as she tried to get her drop step in there, and that is going to be on Arndt. That'll be her first personal, and that is Del Oro's 5th team foul.
Very nice passing by the Lady Hillman. Unfortunately, Casey got a little bit off balance before she could shoot it, but did draw the foul.
This is a young lady. She can play anywhere. I mean, she really can. Played with the Bay Area, or I think it's the East Bay Explosion in AAU ball. Now Kelsey Burns back into the game as Del Oro had that big height advantage, and Coach Cam wants to do something about that. Myers tips the ball loose, and Dougherty ends up on the floor, and we're going to have a call. It's going to be on Felicia Myers. Not happy about that call, but it was just, I don't know, wrong place, wrong time. Looked like she was going for the ball. 13-11 is the score. Del Oro can tie it here.
A lot of fouls early in this game.
Oh, traveling. It looked like Jesslyn Burton picked up that left pivot foot just a little bit.
Well, they had a little backdoor play going there, and the backdoor cutter didn't quite get there in time, and so she was just stuck with no place to go and had to travel.
There's Ricks looking to keep control of that ball. We've got a jump ball, and it'll be Del Oro possession. So the Eagles can tie it up here now with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
I want to see if they continue their dribble penetration, because there have been a lot of fouls early in this game, actually, by both teams. But there's that little backdoor setup again, didn't go this time.
Emily Johnson, number 23, little freshman point guard. She's going to be a good one, very quick. Now here's Arndt from the baseline, and no good. Rebound taken out of there by Rachel Hare. Runs the floor, gets it to Ricks. Ricks has it stripped away. She's going to put it back up, left-handed, and it doesn't go. Arndt with the rebound, and a foul called on Ricks. 95 feet from the basket.
Pete, I'm getting a little concerned. The Lady Hillmen have 6 team fouls, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet. That's not only going to, if they don't stop it, 5, excuse me. If they don't stop this, they're not only going to give the Eagles, Lady Eagles, extra free throws, they're going to have to go deep into their bench.
Well, again, the good thing for Coach Camillucci is that he has 5 fouls on 5 different players. Spread it around a little bit. For Takayama, he has only got actually 3 players on the bench out there, and one of them is a freshman who just got moved up tonight.
Oh, that's a great pass.
Jill Taylor with the rebound, though. There's another girl who can play all 5 positions. To Hare. A lot of weapons for Coach Cam. Anybody can be the hero on any given night, but when this team moves the ball around, they are tough to beat. Myers to the hole, and it's a foul on the floor. No shot. It'll be Hillman ball baseline. And we get the call over here from Terry Howard. Who did he say that was on?
I missed that one.
On Mackenzie Bailey.
Okay, Mackenzie Bailey, second personal. Now he's got Jesse Westlake and Mackenzie Bailey each with 2. Arndt has a seat. Bailey has a seat. And Sato, number 3, is in the game. Here's Hare for 3 again. Misses. And Myers with the putback and can't get it up. But there's Kelsey Burns. Shovels it up. No good. Rebound. What do we got? A jump ball. A rebound. Jump ball. It'll be Placer ball on the baseline. These girls are battling.
Pete, the Lady Hillmen need to run a really good out-of-bounds play here. They, other than the 3-point shot that they just shot in the corner on the last out-of-bounds play, they haven't had a really, really good shot recently.
Well, here's one right here.
Right
That's
there.
money. Back ironing off. That was dead on. Hare. And she pulls up from 12. No good. Rebound. Throws it up. No good. And that's Del Oro ball. No foul called. And she was just a little out of control on that one.
They were scrambling the boards, though. 3 opportunities that time. You'd like to have that more often.
Nicole Zurio just ran out of your picture. Number 13 is a freshman, has been moved up to varsity for this game because Allie Fletcher went home today with a 104-degree temperature. She took a test and then went home. She was feeling very sick. I don't know what she got on the test, but I know she wasn't doing real well. And they lost another player as well. So this is Nicole Zurio with the ball right there. She made an incredible shot in the JV game when they were up at Placer from half court that was just phenomenal. But here now we have a clock violation, and now we have an out of bounds. That's going to be Del Oro ball with 2.9 seconds to go. Or then they stopped the clock. We had a shot clock go off. The girls, who have never heard the horn here at Del Oro, thought it was the end of the quarter. Kelsey Burns bounced the ball away, but they stopped the game clock.
Well, she gave
the
ball.
scorekeeper stopped the game clock. The time should be down to like a half a second.
She gave the ball to the referee. She thought the quarter was over, and he was wide open.
He was. Well, she just bounced it away. Now the official Greg Oliver here is at the table. If we can get a shot of him.
We'll see how they sort this mess out.
Well, let's listen in here. She bounced past the ball with about 3.5 seconds. There's 2.9 on the clock. Once the shot clock went off, they stopped the game clock. There should be maybe a half a second left on that clock.
No, that's correct. Because it's a shot clock violation. The clock stops on a violation because the other team's going to take it out of bounds.
But they didn't stop the clock. They didn't blow the whistle. No one blew a whistle. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant as the first quarter comes to an end. And the final of the first quarter is Placer 13 and Del Oro 11. They should have blown the whistle, but because they were but I don't believe they reset the shot clock properly. Is probably what happened. It shouldn't have gone off. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We could talk about that one all night. It doesn't matter.
A fitting in, Pete, to a quarter that was not very well played by either team. Lots of turnovers, both teams giving up offensive rebounds that they need to get something going on either side of the ball.
Alan, what did they get going in the first quarter?
In the first quarter, Placer, they took 3 turnovers away from Del Oro. They didn't turn any into points, though. Rachel Hare had 9 points on the 3 3-pointers she had. She added 2 rebounds for them. Kelsey Burns is doing a good job on the glass. She's added 4 rebounds for Placer. But Placer has committed 6 turnovers, and Del Oro has turned them into a couple points thus far tonight. Mackenzie Bailey's leading Del Oro with 5 points so far.
Well, turnovers have been the issue for the Lady Hillmen, Terry, as they average about 18 per game.
Well, and Del Oro's doing a good job defensively because they're really pressuring that first pass. In coach's lingo, that's called a lead pass, the pass that leads you into your offense. And they're really pressuring that lead pass. And what that gives Placer, if they'll adapt to it, is that gives them the backdoor play.
Well, the freshman Zorio goes to the bench, and this is, once again, Emily Johnson, the other freshman point guard. And that's Dougherty. Passing over to Johnson, guarded by Showinoff. And the freshman's going to put up a 3. It doesn't go. The rebound, Kelsey Burns with the position. She'll dribble out of there and travels. And there's the call. She just is not in sync.
There's Del Oro putting that constant pressure on defensively. They've done it since the game started. And at this point in the game, it's causing Placer difficulty.
7:35 to go first half. Placer with a 2-point lead, 13-11. First time they've been down here to play at the new gym at Del Oro High School. Nice little post move, but no spin on the ball. Dvorak comes out of there with it. She can handle the ball and run the floor, and she puts it up herself, and it bounces around and drops. Tiari Dvorak with the rebound, coast to coast. 15-11, Placer with the lead.
Really a nice decision. Lady Hillman have them outnumbered 3-2 on that particular fast break. The rule is when you have the ball in your hands in an outnumbered situation, you take it until the defense stops you. They never.
Let's take a look at Tiari's shot again, and we'll get the foul here.
Here it is. She's taking the ball until the defense stops her. They don't ever stop her. She gets in the paint. If you get that deep, go ahead and shoot it.
Christiana Sato picked up the foul. Now that is the 7th foul on the Eagles, so Tiari Dvorak will go to the line and shoot 2, or 1 and 1, I should say. And she was a 73% free throw shooter. She's down to 72.9 now.
All right, Placer is going to get another out-of-bounds play. They've been able to generate some good shots on their inbounds plays.
There's Myers back into Dvorak. She's going to flip one way. Now this is Myers for three. No good. Didn't even draw iron. And slapped out of bounds by Del Oro. Placer will get another shot at an inbounds play with 22 on the shot clock. Back into the game, Mackenzie Bailey replacing Sato for Takayama, who has just 3 girls on the bench.
Both teams giving up a lot of extra shots so far in this game. You would think that sooner or later it's going to hurt them, but so far it's been about even, so it hasn't hurt either team. But there's another turnover by Placer, and that's just giving shots away, unfortunately.
Mackenzie Bailey over to Rebecca Arndt and out to Dougherty. She'll shoot this. Bingo. Katie Dougherty.
Very nice shot fake. One dribble to escape from the defender right in the bottom of the net.
She's got 5 on the night. Average is 13.5. She's got 43 threes, second only in the league to Rachel Hare. And there's once again a travel call on Kelsey Burns. She just doesn't look like she's getting her feet.
Just another one turnover after another, Pete. I don't understand it. They haven't had, I don't think, this big a problem all year. They've been averaging about 17 a game, which is high. But, boy, this is a turnover fest at the moment.
Here's showing off the miss. Dougherty puts a knee into her, and there's no call. Camillucci not happy about that. He's right in front of the official, giving Terry Howard an earful.
Boy, there's
here comes Del Oro again.
Another turnover.
This is the shooter, and no good. Rebound, showing off, battling for the ball. Comes out of there with it. There's some girls on the floor. And this is Dvorak from Taylor, no good. Rebound. I don't know who this foul's on. It's going to be on, looks like Del Oro.
It's on Del Oro. If I were giving it to anybody, I'd give it to Kelsey Burns.
She looked a little out of control on that one.
And actually, she's going to the foul line.
Yeah, 20. It looked like he said 24. Is it 23? Emily Johnson, I guess, picking up the foul. They don't put it up on the board here at the new gym. They got a new gym and a new scoreboard, but they don't put the player fouls up. That's 8 on Del Oro. 21. He just rearranged his thoughts there. And that's tough. Jessie Westlake has just picked up her 3rd personal. That is huge. Coach Takayama told me it's important not to get her in foul trouble because he is shorthanded. She can rotate through the backcourt and the front court, and he really needs her in this game. Another missed front end foul shot for Placer.
And another offensive rebound.
Hare dishes to Dvorak. Out to Showinoff. Over to Taylor. Across to Hare, but too low for her to catch and shoot. Here's Showinoff driving the lane, and Arndt blocks the shot. Placer gets it back. Now here's Hare wide open. This is money. Nope, front iron and off. And Burns with the steal and the basket and the foul, and she'll go to the line and shoot. Well, that's a big turnaround for the Lady Hillman right there with the turnover, the basket, the foul, and she goes to the line.
Kelsey Burns, very alert play. One of Placer's better rebounders after the ball was rebounded, did not run down court. Stood right by the basket, was able to steal it and get a foul and a basket.
Was that Arndt with the foul?
I didn't see it.
Well, we'll catch that later, but that's the 9th team foul on Del Oro in the first half. From the corner, no good. Arndt with the offensive rebound and the putback, and she's fouled in the act, so Rebecca Arndt will go to the free throw. And I believe
here it is right here, offensive rebound, and Kelsey just sticks around. Puts a lot of pressure on the ball, picks it up, makes a nice, strong move to the basket and gets fouled.
She had to. She's getting tackled by Jessie Burton on that one. And Arndt's first free throw does go in. So it's 17-15. Placer with a 2-point lead. Sato replacing Mackenzie Bailey. Emily Johnson for Del Oro. Arndt gets the second free throw. And into the game is Sammy Dreer, and she's going to replace Laura Showinoff. Sammy is a scrappy little ball player, has been getting more playing time. She's been doing a good job. She can handle the ball real well, runs the offense. just a junior. Here she is. She's trapped in the corner, dishes to Dvorak for 2. No, 3. That's a three-pointer.
That's good.
I thought her foot was on the line.
You know,
Mike Takayama thought her foot was on the line.
You know, the Del Oro defense, Pete, is swarming the post so aggressively that if you can work the in and out play, it's wide open. The secret is in this game, the Del Oro defense is so tight. Once you put the ball into the post player, Placer's having a difficult time getting it back out. But that particular play is open, as demonstrated on the last sequence.
Well, Coach Cam talking it over with his players. Want to find out who that last foul was on for Placer. Let's take a look at Tiari's three-pointer, and let's see if I'm right and the officials are wrong. And, of course, the officials, as always, are right.
They don't ever miss, do they?
Three-pointer, nothing but the bottom of the net swish. And, again, she had 3 three-pointers in the third quarter against Del Oro last time. And a time when Del Oro was making a run, Dvorak was just the dagger to the heart.
Well, a nice little sequence there, Pete. Gives Placer a little breathing room here. It's going to be interesting to see at this point in the game. There's a little over, well, there's 4.5 minutes left in the first half, and Del Oro's at 9 team fouls. So very quickly, Placer could be shooting 2 on every foul and a double bonus, and that could be a factor here in the first half.
Well, and Placer's going into the bonus on their next foul. How many turnovers are we up to now, Allan?
Tonight, so far, Placer's committed 10 turnovers, and Del Oro's added 5 points off of those.
There you go, right there. That's a big difference. But Placer still with a 4-point lead, despite the turnovers, and it's been the story all year. Despite the turnovers, they find a way to win. There's Sammy Dreer stepping in front of that pass, bringing it up the right side, looking for someone to shoot. Gets it to Dvorak. Here's Hare. She wants to drive the paint, leaves it for Taylor, over to Dreer, and a 16-footer around and off. And Rebecca Arndt with the rebound, and then she's fouled by Kelsey Burns. Again, 95 feet from the hoop.
Nice play on the other end, defensive play by Sammy Dreer. Del Oro trying to run that little backdoor play that they've attempted a couple times tonight. She read it perfectly, stepped right into the passing lane and stole it.
Jill Taylor's going to come out. Casey Ricks is coming in. This is a very talented young lady off of Coach Cam's bench. This young lady right here, Coach Takayama says, a very soft-spoken young lady, and but she likes to get out there and perform for her team, and they rely heavily on her. She misses that free throw. It's still a 4-point game. Placer 20-16 with just under 4 minutes to go, halfway through the second period.
Now, Del Oro has switched to a zone defense here, Pete. I'm guessing it's because of their foul trouble.
Try to make Placer shoot around it. That might just be playing into the Lady Hillman's hand. There's a stutter step by Dougherty, and it'll be Placer ball, another turnover.
Another turnover. All right, this zone defense should change the tempo of the game a little bit. It also should change Placer's strategy a little bit. If they work the ball well and keep the ball moving, keep the players moving, they still should be able to get that in and out action, which has been open. That looks good.
Yeah, she was drifting
Great
a little
rebound.
bit. Yes, Kelsey Burns.
Kelsey Burns, exactly the right spot at exactly the right time. Most shots rebound on the opposite side of the basket from which they're shot. She was right there, perfect position to get it back and score.
She's a huge factor. And there's Rick stepping in front of the basketball. Now look at the big girl dribble it up. Gives it off to Sammy Dreer. Over to Rachel Hare.
Nice decision by Dreer there. People were a little bit out of control. She backed it out, and they're going to run their half-court offense.
She ball fakes really well, passes really well, but that one's tipped away. Here comes Mackenzie Bailey. Rachel Hare stopping the ball. Nope, can't get it done as she didn't want to commit the foul. And Bailey with a nice layup. And now we've got a young man with a transition of all of his own. The basketball out on the floor. I always want to tell the kids, hold the basketballs at the game. You don't want to be dribbling balls on the sidelines.
Really another nice play here in an outnumbered situation. Del Oro having a 2-on-1 with Mackenzie Bailey with the ball. Again, perfect execution, following the basic rule. When you have the other team outnumbered, dribble it until they stop you. And they didn't stop her. She went right to the basket, scored 2. Very well done.
She's a good sophomore. 14 a game, 4 steals per game. Just a sophomore. Mike Takayama, 2 years ago was the first time he didn't go to the playoffs, since Naismith invented his game. And then last year, I think they struggled a little bit. But, you know, he's got a young team now. He's going to graduate a couple of tough seniors in Dougherty and Arndt. But he's got a bunch of young, scrappy ball players. They are fun to watch.
Well, he manages to bring a good team to the court every year. I'm sure he'll continue to do it.
Here's Hare, gets it across to Dvorak, dumps it into Burns. Little drop step move. Now watch this put back by Casey Ricks with the left hand off the glass. And it's 24-18.
And it comes off another offensive rebound. The Lady Hillmen have solved their problem. They're rebounding better, but Del Oro is not, and that's one of the things that's difficult in the zone defense. It's hard to
give and
rebound.
Go didn't work that time. As now here's Ricks with the left hand. She's got a lot of moves, hasn't got them all down yet, but again, she's just a freshman. And on the other end, here's Katie Dougherty with the layup that didn't go. And here's Hare with the basketball.
That's got to be a sequence that Mike Takayama would like, though, up and down, up and down. That seems to be their best game.
Dvorak for three, no good. Rebound, tipped away by Bailey.
Here
comes
again.
the redhead.
Oh,
nice move.
That is a nice hesitation dribble.
But the shot didn't go, and Dvorak with the rebound.
I think the game right now is a little bit more in the tempo and pace that Del Oro would like than it is the Lady Hillman.
Rebound Arndt. As in, you aren't going to get too many rebounds
when she's
if you're
around.
Playing her. 24-18. I bet she's heard that before.
I would imagine so.
Coming up on the 1 minute mark here in the first half. Bailey guarded by Hare. Hare did a very nice job against her last game. Here's Dougherty from way downtown trying to get over Dvorak. That's going to be tough to do, and Dvorak did a great job on Dougherty last game as well.
Pete, Kelsey Burns is just controlling the defensive boards for Placer. She is on every ball. She's rebounding both sides of the basket, has solved that problem for the Hillmen.
Well, she averages 9 per night. She's got 9 here in the first half. Here's Dvorak reaching in, and Placer fans wanted a foul called on Mackenzie Bailey, but she's already got 2.
I don't think she fouled her. It just wasn't a very controlled shot.
Go up a little stronger, and maybe you get that. That shot is no good, and there's Kelsey Burns' 10th rebound in this first half.
Oh, that's a nice pass.
Nice pass, and out to Dvorak. She's not shy about shooting that 3. You miss all the ones you don't take, right?
Well, that's exactly right, but she looks a little tired in the legs at the moment.
Here's Dougherty. She had a player wide open and didn't shoot the 3.
And guess who got the rebound?
That's the 11th rebound of the night for Kelsey Burns. Wow, what a first half. The team struggled a little bit, but probably the defensive pressure from the other teams contributed to some of that, Terry, but a little nervousness maybe. This is for the Sierra Foothill League lead and possibly the championship game with only 2 to go, and maybe they just need to settle down a little bit in that locker room and come out. They're playing hard. They're just not always playing as smart as they could.
Well, you know, Pete, you get in a big game like this, and it's easy to say, oh, gee, it's really a sloppy game. They're doing this or doing that. But the fact of the matter is we have 2 good teams here tonight. Both teams play very good defense. You know that it's going to be difficult to get good shots and difficult to make good passes. So you can't really lay it all on poor play. I think you have to give a lot of credit to both teams on the defensive end of the court.
Well, it's been a heck of a game, and one that we kind of expected to be a little bit of a battle. And again, you see a lot of things that you don't see on your typical night out. Oh, hey, we got stats already. Look at this. I'm going to show you my stat. Can I show you our stat keeper right here? No, look this way, over that way.
Look where the guy with the camera is. Camera shot.
In the first half, Rachel Hare with 9 points. She hit the 2 early threes. She's got 3 rebounds. We got Tiari Dvorak with 8 points and a couple of rebounds. Kelsey Burns with 4 points and 11 rebounds. So we were actually right because we knew that. And sometimes we just guess, But Renee Mead is with us here. Hi, Renee. How you doing? Say hi.
Hello.
What do you think of the game so far?
A lot of shooting.
Okay. That was Renee Mead, whose daughter plays for the junior varsity team, and she's quite good, Madison is. Do you need to take this into the locker room? Okay, I can have this? Okay. Casey Ricks, 2 points, a couple of rebounds at the time that she was in there. Felicia Myers with the point. Laura Schoenhoff with a couple of rebounds. Jill Taylor with a couple of rebounds. Only 2 assists in the whole first half. Oh, we're going to have to see. There's any more? Okay. Offensive rebounds. Hare had a couple. She also had a steal. And we have 2 personal fouls on Laura Schoenhoff. That's what I wanted to have Allan check on. And Allan is with you have the other team? You have Del Oro? Let's check Del Oro. There's Del. See, look at that. I'll tell you what. Allan, you're just going to move up. You are now in the high-tech world, buddy. Here's the microphone. There's the Palm Pilot. Give us the stats there, buddy.
For Del Oro tonight, Rebecca Arndt currently has 6 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Three of them are offensive rebounds, 1 turnover, and 1 personal foul.
He's a natural.
Mackenzie Bailey, 5 points, 2 rebounds so far tonight.
Just do one at a time. We'll
Then
through.
and she also has 2 steals and 2 personal fouls.
Let's just go down the left side there. Go give us points and rebounds,
All
and
right.
we'll be here all night because Renee,
Katie
keeps
Dougherty,
everything.
5 points and 1 rebound so far tonight. Jessica Westlake, 2 points, 1 assist. Emily Johnson, 2 assists. And Jesseline Burton, 1 rebound.
Okay, well there you go. Now we're going to get the stats here on the overall team percentages. Let's see. For Placer, they have taken 26 shots and made 7. So that's about 28%.
It's not good.
That's 26%. Oh, it's right there. I didn't even see that. 2 points were 6 for 20, which is 30%, and 3 points no, that's wrong because they've got 2 3-pointers. Oh, okay. Free throws 3 of 5, but I know we got him. Oh, that's Del Oro. Oh, we're looking at Del Oro shooting 26%, and they're shooting 30% from the 2-point range, okay, and 60% on the free throws. Now for Placer, okay. See, I knew it was 28%. It's really 27, but it's close. And they are shooting 50% on their 3-pointers. They've made 5 out of 10, but only 14% on the free throws. And really it's worse than that because they missed some front-end one-and-wonders, so they have missed some more points as a result of that. So as far as Rachel Hare's shooting is concerned, she is 0 for 3 from the 2-point from inside the arc. She's 3 for 7 from outside the arc. I would recommend her staying outside the arc. So she's 3 of 10 for the whole game. There you go. And Katie Dougherty, the other shooter for Del Oro, has made 2 of 9 field goals. She's got 1 3-pointer. So and she's shooting about 22% on the night. So the big guns got off early. Thank you, Renee Mead. We embarrassed her thoroughly. And she's the stat keeper for Placer, and she does a great job. And she's gone through 2 Palm Pilots this year on that digital scout, keeping track of everything. Just like Terry Tangney used to do, the old digital scout, right, Terry?
You know what we need? We need to get Gil to buy us one of those things. So
you think?
So Allan can work that thing and be right on top of it.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Allan would love that. Okay.
Get rid of that pen and get one of those Palm Pilots.
All right.
Second half, Pete, I'm looking forward to the strategical adjustments that the 2 teams will make. Mostly, I'm going to be very, very interested to see if Del Oro sticks with their zone defense.
Well, they've got a little bit of foul trouble going on as Jessie Westlake has 3, Mackenzie Bailey has 2. And, again, we talked about it before, just not enough players. They brought up a freshman, Nikki Zorio, but that's only 8 players, and that's kind of tough to play a big game like this with a brand-new player and only 2 on the bench. And we wish all the best to Allie Fletcher. I hope she can recover from that fever that she has.
Well, you know, Pete, a very famous man once said, you got to dance with who brung you. That's what he's got tonight. That's what he has to play with. And I'm sure that Mike is going to do a good job with what he's got.
Well, if he's all that famous, why isn't he bringing somebody instead of being brung to the dance? Lady Hillman Road to Arco Arena is being underwritten by Liberty Motors of Grass Valley and Liberty Motors Auburn. Liberty Motors is proud to display the new Dodge Ram 3/4-ton pickup truck with the Cummins turbo diesel engine. They celebrate the new opening of the second Liberty Motors in Grass Valley. Liberty Motors, Grass Valley, Liberty Motors in Auburn. Liberty Motors.
Hanson Brothers Construction and HBE Rentals. HBE Rentals is a full-service rental and supply yard that's open 7 days a week with a selection of tools and machines for you to get the job done and get it done right. From aerial lifts and pressure washers to trenchers and backhoes, HBE Rentals and Hanson Brothers Construction.
By Taylor Heavy Hauling, owners Sheila and Richard Taylor are proud to provide you all the hauling needs. With over 35 trucks available every day, they can handle any load, both large and small, and haul anything you can throw in the back of their truck. Taylor Heavy Hauling.
Ray's Radiator Service and Douglas Automotive. An overheating car can be a serious problem, but Ray's Radiator Service can fix that radiator whether it needs cleaning or recoring, and Douglas Automotive can repair everything else. They'll both get you back on the road quickly. Ray's Radiator Service and Douglas Automotive.
And Hometown Realtors. They are by your side throughout the entire real estate process, ready to help you navigate the rough road of paperwork, the winding trail of financing, and the uncharted highways of buying and selling. Sue Thompson supports Lady Hillman basketball from Hometown Realtors.
Sierra West Sports. Donna and Dave Bruce own the new sports supply store in Auburn with equipment for everyone. They're specializing in team sports equipment for every sport, including jerseys, gloves, pads, and mouthpieces, and love to work with youth and adult sports teams throughout the foothills. Check them out, Sierra West Sports.
And by Touchdown Productions, championship television for the foothills, your favorite Game of the Week telecast now available on DVD. That's right, every sports broadcast in our vast Touchdown Productions library is now available on our new DVD format. And now Touchdown Productions can transfer your home videos to DVD as well. Just contact Touchdown Productions to transfer programs to DVD. Okay. Well, Rachel Hare with the early three-pointers, two of them, gave Placer a 6-0 lead. She's got 9 points, hasn't hit a 2 yet, but she's got 3 threes.
The way she's shooting the threes, I don't know why she would even attempt a 2 at this point in time unless it's a layup.
She's really struggled lately, but it's really good to see her find her mark. You know, good shooters go through that. If you're a Kings fan, you live and die every night wondering, you know, is Page going to hit his shot? Is Bibby going to hit his shot? And it's tough. Well, there you look at the standings in the Metro League. Nevada Union in first place with a 7-2 record. So the boys doing very well in league play. They played a very tough preseason. McClatchy, who they're going to play Friday night, is right behind them at 7-3, followed by Kennedy and Granite Bay. Second half getting ready to start here. For boys basketball in the Pioneer Valley League, Colfax with an 8-2 record, tied with West Campus. They just upset West Campus, and one of those teams is going to win the league title probably. Start of the second half. Here we go. Emily Johnson against her buddy, Laura Schoenoff. Laura runs into a pick, and Emily hits the bottom of the rim, or bottom of the basket, with the shot. Here comes Laura, top of the key, over to Taylor. 3 on the way, a little short. I think that's Jill's first 3 of the ball game.
All the Placer three-point shots so far in this game, Pete, have been dead straight. Most of the misses have been a little short. Would indicate maybe they're a little tired. They need to get a little more legs in the shot.
That foul's on number 23, Rachel Hare, her second personal. First team foul of the second half for the Lady Hillmen. Now here's Emily Johnson. Katie Doherty, oh, nice entry pass to Rebecca Arndt, but she is fouled by Kelsey Burns. That is Burns' second personal, Alan? Is that right? Okay.
It's her third personal so far tonight.
Personal.
And that could be trouble for the Hillmen because she has absolutely been dominating the boards here in this game, and her loss could be a deciding factor.
But no one's getting up off the bench for Tony Camillucci, leaving her out there.
Well, you know, there's 2 theories of thoughts on fouls, Pete. Some coaches say you protect them when they get 3. Others say you don't protect them until they get 4.
Which school did you go to?
3.
Okay. So you'd get her out of there.
Yeah, I would.
Double dribble on Tiari Dvorak off after the missed free throws. It remains a 24-18 game. Placer led by 2 at the end of the first period. And up their lead to 6, and it's stayed there as we are under 7 minutes to go now in the third quarter. Another turnover.
You know, and there's another factor in that foul situation, Pete. It somewhat depends on the player. Some players can play with fouls and other players can't. You know,
That's true.
they understand what's going on a little better. Maybe she's one who understands the situation.
And
so it's
Hare is fouled from behind. Go ahead.
It's safe to leave her in there.
Hare is fouled from behind by Katie Dougherty. And Dougherty's second personal. We're going to get second half turnovers here at the end of this quarter, keeping track and seeing how they're doing.
Well, Delaro has gone back to their man-to-man defense.
And Chiari has that one go off her left ankle, and then Jill Taylor dishes the ball, and look at the scrappiness of Jessie Westlake on the floor.
Well, that's championship-type basketball right there, Pete. You got both teams having several players on the floor. Love to see that stuff.
Possession goes to Placer this time. And there's the pass to Dvorak. Burns down low in the low post. Placer on the perimeter. Here's Hare. She's open. Gets it to Burns, and Burns has it stolen away by Dougherty. And here's Hare. Has to shoot because of the shot clock. Burns back up and no good.
Look at this girl rebound. That's 2 offensive rebounds in one sequence.
She's got 13 or 14 rebounds on the night. And that ball is just thrown away by Taylor. Another turnover.
Del Oro's man-to-man defense has been giving Placer fits all night.
Bailey, she smiles through the braces. I think those are braces.
I don't think she called glass there, did she?
She didn't call bank, but you know what? She'll cash in on that every time. Great kid, Mackenzie Bailey. Maybe it was just hair in her eyes or across her mouth when she was smiling. Looked like she had braces. I couldn't see for sure, but that was a nice shot. You'll take them when they go in, right? And we got a dish to Dvorak. No good. Rebound. Burns fights for it, but it's off her and out of bounds. It'll be Del Oro ball. Kelsey Burns running up the court. Let's take a look at Mackenzie Bailey. She was wide open, takes the shot, and bank.
Just touches the glass.
But the smile on her face after that was just precious.
You can take anyone you can get, Pete.
Katie Dougherty, she can shoot for Del Oro. Good, pure shooter. Bailey may be the best overall player on the team, but if she is, Dougherty's not far behind. And look at this young girl between the legs, the freshman point guard. Arndt puts it up left-hander, no good. Rebound, Del Oro, Westlake, and here's Bailey, and she's fouled after the shot, as that's the 4th personal foul now on Kelsey Burns, and she'll have to come out, and Ricks is going to have to come in and probably play well into the 4th quarter now.
Well, she's got a big job, Ricks does, to take up the slack on those rebounds, and you just hate to see that foul on Mackenzie Bailey. She's just really making a good effort to try and pressure the shot and lost her balance a little bit, but you have 3 fouls, may not be the time to take a chance.
Another foul on Placer. 33, that's Tiari, and that's her 2nd personal. She's saying, "Are you sure it's on me?" And Terry Howard says, "Yep." Bailey puts up the jumper, no good. And the ball is tipped by Ricks to Dvorak. And look at the big girl bringing up the floor. Almost traveled, but got rid of it. Here's Hare, guarded by Bailey. Into Ricks, back out to Showinoff. Guarded by Westlake in the corner. Here's Taylor, goes around Dougherty, and the ball is loose again. Another turnover for Jill Taylor.
Boy, the Del Oro defense, Pete, right now is just outstanding. We're approaching the 4-minute mark in the 3rd quarter, and Placer is yet to score.
They have not scored in this quarter. And we've got a whistle timeout, Placer. Each team now with 4 timeouts remaining. Let's check the turnovers. Allan, how are we doing in this 3rd quarter?
So far in the 3rd quarter, Placer, they've committed 3 turnovers. And in the game total, they have 14 turnovers, and that's led to 10 Del Oro points. Del Oro has committed 14 turnovers tonight, and that's led to 6 Placer points so far.
So there's a 4-point swing on turnovers, Terry.
Well,
thank you, Alan.
You know, I like this call here by Coach Camillucci calling a timeout. We're at 4:05 in the quarter. Placer hasn't scored. This gives him a chance to talk to his team, maybe set up something special here that they can work and get a really good shot, because they need something really good here. Del Oro's defense in the second half has just been stifling.
They've only scored 3, Del Oro, though, in the third period. So Katie Dougherty hasn't got on track yet. But that could happen at any moment, and then it's Katie bar the door. Katie bar to the Dougherty.
You clever man, you.
Here's Ricks kicking it out to Dvorak. She moves but can't find the net. And here comes Johnson.
A lot of shots by the Lady Hillman, Pete, this evening that are a little bit short. Could be tension of the big game, could be fatigue, but they need to do something to get the ball up there a little bit more.
The ball's tipped by Placer, but it went off a Del Oro player last, so it's Placer ball.
So here's Del Oro right up in a full court man defense.
They're just playing full court man.
They're just after it.
Jill Taylor, she's been hitting the threes lately, but that one doesn't go. And here's Emily Johnson. She's a lot of fun to watch, and she will be for 3 more years. Here's Mackenzie Bailey, and nice drive to the hole, but it just didn't go. Hare looking up court, head up. Passes to Dvorak. It's on the arc, but thinks better of it. This is showing off, guarded by Bailey. To Taylor. She's going to go all the way with a running left-hander. No shot. Lane violation called on Placer. Del Oro ball.
Well, we're now looking at 5 minutes. Wow. Placer hasn't scored.
This is quite a drought. Only 3 points scored in the first 5 minutes of this quarter, and all by Del Oro.
Well, you would kind of hope that the teams would be calmed down a little bit here in the second half, and I think maybe
the defenses have.
The defense has just been outstanding.
From outside, Emily Johnson, no good. There's Hare with the rebound. She can do so many things. And she is going to get a foul called on Emily Johnson.
All right, Del Oro's probably going to zone this out of bounds play, Pete. They zoned the last one, and that would mean that Placer might have a good opportunity to get a really nice shot here on the inbounds play.
First personal on Johnson, is that right?
Yes, that's her first personal.
Okay. And Dvorak, no. Wasn't ready to go up when she got the inbounds pass. And the official said she moved both her feet.
And I think she did.
He's a lot closer. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Emily Johnson, look at her go right around and all the way to the hole, and she has her shot blocked, and foul is called on 33. Now that's on Dvorak. That's her 3rd personal. And the 5th team foul on Placer this quarter. So Johnson is at the line shooting 2 shots.
Really nice execution of the high screen and roll play there by Del Oro that time. Great screen set. Poor Laura Schoenhoff just picked her right off.
Look at this young lady here, Emily Johnson, the baby-faced assassin. You know?
Doesn't look like this game's bothering her any, does it? Look,
no,
she's right up there playing defense.
She's just a freshman. She's too young to know, what this game means. But Placer right now in trouble as they've got their 2 big girls on the bench. Casey Ricks going to go in there, and Laura Schoenhoff and Rachel Hare going to run things in the backcourt here. They are sticking with that zone. And Taylor, nice bounce pass. They found the separation, and Taylor found Ricks under the basket for 2.
And that's exactly what Placer needed, a really good shot, a high percentage shot. And, of course, it doesn't get much more high percentage than a layup, and maybe that'll get them rolling on their offense a little bit.
So with 1:45 in the third quarter left, Placer finally gets on the board. And now we've got a 2-shot foul on Casey Ricks. And for Ricks, that is her 2nd personal. And this is Dougherty at the line, and she's a dead-eye.
We shall see.
And now getting up off of Mike Takayama's bench is Jessie Burton. as Dougherty hits the free throw, and she'll replace Arndt, give Rebecca Arndt a chance to rest a little bit here. And then with the timeout at the end of the quarter break, she'll get a little more time, and then she'll be ready to go in the fourth period. And we'll see if Kelsey Burns gets up off the bench. Dougherty hits both free throws.
You called that right.
She's a good shooter. Very good shooter. One of the best in the league. Nice lob pass, but doesn't go. And look at Felicia Myers get in there, and they're going to call Felicia for a foul. I thought it was a jump ball, but she kind of jumped in there with her knees. Like, look at this. Dougherty goes up.
Oh boy.
And Ricks just took her right arm away.
Along with other body parts.
She's reaching down and saying, "Are you alive?" And now Placer with its 7th foul, so this is going to be Jessie Burton at the line, shooting 1 and the bonus. Placer abysmal free throw shooting tonight. Del Oro has a chance to close the gap here from the line, and they missed the front end. That's really a 2-point opportunity that's missed. Here's Ricks with the right hand, shovels it up and around and in.
I'll tell you, Pete, that was a great little move, on balance, in rhythm, little ball fake, and right by the opponent, right to the basket.
She's going to be a good one. She can play forward. She can play guard almost. All alone under the basket, and she makes the putback. It would have been better for Placer if the first shot wouldn't have been good for Jessie Burton, but she gets her own rebound and puts it back. And it's fouled by Laura Showinoff. Was it Laura?
I didn't see.
I believe it's on number 5, Felicia Myers.
Felicia Myers picks up another foul. I believe that is her 3rd personal now. And Jessie Burton at the line, and Rebecca Arndt will come back in.
Yeah, right on the arm. Down she goes. Sometimes as a coach, you'd like to convince your players that there are situations you just need to let them score.
Jessie Burton makes the free throw and the 3-point play. That makes it a 1-point game, 28-27.
Okay, Del Oro's back in their zone now.
Placer only leading by 1. Again, 2 of the top teams in the area. Placer ranked number 5, have been ranked as high as 3. And Del Oro has been ranked as high as 3. They're now number 10. But in the power rankings, Placer just 1/100 of a point ahead. Here's Hare, no good. She hasn't found the range in the second half. It's off of Placer. Del Oro ball with 31 seconds remaining here in this rather uneventful third period.
You know, Pete, Coach Camillucci has sent Kelsey Burns back in the game with 4 fouls.
And with only 22 seconds left in the quarter, Terry.
Risky business. Here's a high screen and roll again. Better played by the Hillmen this time.
And Del Oro looking for that last shot. 6 on the clock. And Burns goes right after her. That could have been a nightmare because Burns went right after her. She could have fouled out on that one. There was no call. And Placer comes out of there with a 28-27 lead at the end of 3 periods of play. And you just got to breathe a big sigh of relief if you're a Hillman fan that they did not blow the whistle on that one.
Yes, indeed.
Go ahead. What do you got for us, Alan?
Turnovers are running high in this game so far. Del Oro has committed 16 turnovers. That's led to 6 Placer points. Placer has committed 18 turnovers so far tonight. That's turned into 10 Del Oro points. Leading scorer for Placer right now is Rachel Hare with 9, and Tiare Dvorak has 8 points for Placer. Kelsey Burns has 13 rebounds tonight.
Kelsey Burns.
But she does have 4 fouls, so we don't know how much she'll play in the fourth quarter.
Well, if he put her into the third quarter, I got to believe he's going to put her in the fourth quarter. Unless he wants to save her for the post-game show.
I think that he just believes in her, and we'll see if he sticks with her.
Yep.
And I think he also believes.
I
think he also believes Coach Camillucci does in the players that play behind her, that they can do the job if she does foul out.
But they do truly need her down the stretch. And boy, you got Ricks in there, but Del Oro's going big too. They've got Jessie Burton in there. She's 6'1", along with Rebecca Arndt, who's 6'3". So with a shorthanded bench, Mike Takayama's got to be happy, trailing by only a point leading here in this fourth period.
Outstanding defensive quarter by Del Oro in the third quarter.
And Dougherty takes it all the way to the hole, and Del Oro takes the lead with 7:42 to go in the ball game. First lead for Del Oro. Ball tipped out of bounds. No, it wasn't tipped out of bounds. Coach Camillucci thought it was, but apparently not.
Del Oro is just putting on so much defensive pressure.
And that's a 5-second, timeout. Mike Takayama quickly calling a timeout. He had nobody down the end of the floor to help with the inbound play.
Well, the Del Oro Lady Eagles are putting on a defensive clinic here in the second half, and it's going to be interesting to see if the Lady Hillmen can come up with an answer for it. There are some answers. Again, using coach speak, so to say. You need to have what's known as pressure releases. The most common one is the backdoor cut, and that should be available for the Hillmen, but you can also work off your high post and get some back cuts from there. So that's the type of adaptation that the Lady Hillmen and Coach Camillucci need to make.
Placer went over 6 minutes without a bucket in that third quarter, and that hurt him. And then earlier in the fourth period, Del Oro takes the 29-28 lead, and that's where we are with 7 minutes and 20 seconds in the ball game. This is Dougherty from 2, and it does not go. Showing-off battles Johnson. Johnson gets the rebound. Outside, Burton for 3, no good. Kelsey Burns with her 14th rebound of the ball game. Here comes Showing-off, guarded by Johnson all the way. Kicks it out to Hare. Passes up to 3 this time. To Dufour. And stolen away by McKenzie.
There's the Del Oro pressure again.
To Emily, back to McKenzie, and 2. Del Oro sharing the ball very well, and they lead 31-28.
An absolute clinic by the Del Oro team on how to run the 2-on-1 fast break.
And that's so tough, that little 12-footer. And Burns goes up, and there is a foul called on Rebecca Arndt. I believe that is just her second personal of the ball game.
And with as little as Del Oro is allowing Placer at the moment from the field, they really need these free throws.
And they've been abysmal from the free throw line tonight. Good. What's the free throw shooting tonight so far, Allan, for Placer? You have that?
No, I don't have the totals for the team right now.
Well, it was 1 of 7, I believe, in the first half. So now that's 2 of 8. They're 3 of 9.
Placer goes home with a victory tonight, Pete. Kelsey Burns is the most valuable player.
She hits 2 free throws, and that makes it a 31-30 ball game. Placer trailing Del Oro by 1 point. Laura Showing-off picks a foul up. Nice drive to the hoop by Emily Johnson.
Again, with the dribble penetration, which is what they started the game with, just relentlessly going to the basket. They went away from it a little bit, and now they're back to it.
Third personal foul on Laura Showing-off. Johnson, nothing but net. She gets the free throw. Laura Showing-off comes to the bench, gets a nice round of applause. She's been out there the whole night. And Johnson hits both free throws. Makes it a 33-30 ball game. The Lady Eagles by 3. Jill Taylor sees Dougherty and loses control. Here's Bailey rolling to the hole, and she scores. Mackenzie Bailey.
Off
35.
Off the pressure defense again, Pete. It's just been the key factor of the second half. It's just disrupted Placer, caused them all kinds of grief.
35-30. Del Oro with a 5-point lead. And the shot clock is now down to 12. Back and forth they go. Dvorak gets it into Burns, and she is fouled as she puts up the shot. take a look at the Bailey layup here on the other end. Look at this young girl go. Just a sophomore.
Right, strong to the hoop. Doesn't look like this game is going to bother her any. She's pretty confident with that shot. Up strong, not worrying about the defender. Just exactly what you're supposed to do. Wait for the contact and shoot the ball.
Kelsey Burns at the free throw line this year, only shooting 50%. She's made 4 in a row.
4 in a row. And that's what's keeping Placer in the game at the moment is her free throws. It's going to be, if the trend continues, Pete, if the game continues at the same pace, the same tempo, and the same style, free throws are going to become very critical for Placer because they're just getting so few good opportunities from the floor, and give all the credit to the Del Oro defense. That in this second half, they have just been swarming the Placer players.
Well, the first game, it was a situation where Placer was keeping Del Oro from setting up their offense. Here in the second game, here in the second half of the second game, Placer has just had difficulty. You know, they've only scored 8 points in the second half, and 4 of those have been on free throws in the last minute from Kelsey Burns.
Well,
that's it in the second half.
And Del Oro has mixed it up a little bit. At times they've been in a full court man. At times they'll just have one player in the backcourt putting some pressure on. Other times they'll let you bring the ball into the offensive half of the court and then shut down your lead passes. It's been a very well executed plan by the Del Oro Lady Eagles this evening in the second half.
Well, Mike Takayama's been around a little bit, and if anybody can do it with a short bench against a team that's favored, probably Mike would be one of your guys you'd want to have out there at the end of the bench. Tony Camillucci, great coach for Placer, has done a great job over the years with his program, winning 20 or more for the last 7 years. And you've got 2 great coaches, 2 great teams, and a 3-point lead by Del Oro, but Emily Johnson travels on her way to the hole, and it's another turnover.
And Pete, that's just what Placer needs. They need to string together some stops now. They need to have Del Oro come down and Placer play good defense and not allow them to score because they're having such a hard time to score.
Rachel Hare guarded by Emily Johnson. Over to Dufour, guarded by McKenzie. Off the screen, over to Jill Taylor. 4-3, good. And there's a tie ball game. Jill Taylor, as we said before, has been hitting that 3-point shot. And it's a tie ball game with 4.5 minutes to go.
Nice little adjustment there by Placer. They went to a dribble weave outside. And what that does, Pete, is that prevents, since there's so much dribbling, it prevents Del Oro from pressuring those lead passes. Because there aren't any lead passes. It's all done off the dribble. Very nice adjustment by Coach Camillucci.
The adjustments and the counter adjustments.
Yes, and it's been that way all night.
Cat and mouse game between these 2 coaches. They know each other so well. Their players they know so well. Tie ball game, 4.5 to go, and this is Mackenzie Bailey. And gets it to Arndt at the elbow and out to Westlake, who misses the shot. The ball bounces on the line, and it's a 1st and 10 Hillmen.
1st and 10. This is exactly what the Hillmen need. This is 2 stops in a row now. If they can come down and score again like they did last time, the momentum may switch to their side.
I'd like to see the ball in the hands of this girl, especially with Laura Schoenoff on the bench. Here's Taylor again, and no good. And 4:02 to go. It's still tied 35 all. Laura Schoenoff has only been out of the game for 2 short breaks. And right now they're going with Ricks in the post along with Burns and Dvorak. So Placer playing tall right now. That's Ricks out on Westlake, who has the ball with the left hand. This is Mackenzie Bailey. She'll put this one up, and she does. She gets around Taylor and scores.
Here's the full court pressure again, and again Del Oro scoring off the dribble penetration.
Without Schoenoff in there, this is a little difficult for Placer right now. Tiari with the ball fake. Ricks with the ball, gets it back outside to Burns. From the corner, no good. But look at the rebound by Dvorak and the putback by Dvorak.
Pete, this game is turning out to be here in the end just exactly what we expected. Both teams are now playing really well on both ends of the court. Good defenses, good offenses.
Placer has 9 fouls, one more, and it's a double bonus. Here's Dougherty from the corner, short, and Burns with her 15th rebound of the ball game. Tipped away by Dougherty, out of bounds. Placer ball in front of their own bench. Coach Cam has a great sideline zipper lob play here. Let's see if he throws it in. Dvorak will come forward, and this will be lobbed into Burns down the low post. Nope, Burns on the wing.
Let's see if they stick with that dribble weave. Nope, they're going to something else.
Burns all alone at the top of the key. They don't even guard her, just a total zone. Here's Bailey with the steal, and she lays it up and in. Mackenzie Bailey. And timeout, Del Oro.
And the Del Oro pressure defense does it again. Pete, that's the play coaches hate. Turnover, score. Well, one coach hates it in each game.
Yeah.
Del Oro's loving it. It's the play that causes frustration. Obviously, it puts a point on the board. We'll see the pressure defense here. She steps right into the passing lane. Perfect timing. Uses her hand just to put the ball free, right down for the easy layup. And there is an intelligent play here by Kelsey Burns with 4 fouls. She didn't pressure that shot too hard, and that was a good decision.
She did not pressure the heart. Is that what you meant?
She did not pressure that shot.
What you got, Alan?
Placer tonight, they've committed 23 turnovers, which has led to 14 Del Oro points, and Mackenzie Bailey's the high scorer for Del Oro. She now has 18 points. If Placer wants to get back in it, they have to stop committing turnovers.
Alan, you've got that exactly right, and I don't think it's all Placer's fault. I give a lot of credit to the Del Oro defense. Here we see the steal again. Bingo, right in there. Perfect timing. I like the way she tapped the ball free and then chased it down.
That was her 5th steal of the ball game, too.
I don't think that Kelsey Burns saw her coming. There was another Del Oro player in the way on the wing out there. Now Del Oro's going to back off. And away we go. Del Oro with only 4 fouls.
So they're back in their zone defense again.
Out to Hare. Dvorak. Ricks.
Even in this zone defense, they're really extended. There's a lot of movement outside. There's some big gaps in the middle, and early Placer was able to take advantage of that.
And Tiari can't quite get to the hole with that. And now there's a foul called on Dvorak, and that's a double bonus foul. Tiari Dvorak has picked up her 4th personal. She and Kelsey Burns with 4 apiece. And from now on, Del Oro is going to be shooting 2 with every foul except player control foul.
And they have only 14 fouls, which if they stay in the lead is a good thing. If they happen to get behind at this late stage, that could be a bad thing.
And that gives Del Oro a 3-point lead, 40-37. Free throw shot.
A lot
here.
of players just reaching and grabbing for the ball.
There's the hook and the foul. And the second one doesn't go, but Arndt with the putback, and that's a big bucket right there.
That is an absolutely huge bucket. That girl has really long arms, and she timed that just perfectly. Del Oro sticking with the zone here, but it's a very aggressive zone. But there are some openings inside. And that's easy to say, but sometimes the pressure outside doesn't allow you to get it inside.
Placer needs some heroics right here. Tiari Dvorak can provide them. There's 3 of them right there. That's 40-42. Placer now trails by just 2 points. Who made that last free throw for Del Oro?
For Placer or
For Del Oro, the last free throw.
Oh, free throw. That was Jesse Burton.
The free throw is huge. The miss was even huger.
Well, this is going to be fun, Pete. We have 2 really veteran coaches who've been in this situation before. They've been in not only in these big games, but they've played them close to the vest and right down to the wire. So they're they're familiar with the strategies that need to be taken care of here, and it's going to be nice to watch this play out. I'm sure both coaches have some very serious words of wisdom here. Coach Camillucci is probably talking to his players about they need stops. They really need stops, and they really need not to foul. And then, if they succeed at that, they need to come down and get some really good shots.
Well, 2 good ones there. As you see the assistant coach, Stuart Kageta, coming over and assisting Mike Takayama.
And he's probably telling his players, don't shoot too quickly, don't do things that are going to stop the clock, don't turn the ball over, don't foul. The best friend in the gym right now for Del Oro is the clock.
And it's at 1:30.
And it's Placer's worst enemy. Placer wants to stop the clock. Del Oro doesn't want to stop the clock.
Here's the freshman going against Hare, the senior. Showing off is on the bench for Placer still. Timeout, Del Oro. The coach can call it now, and he just called a 30. Takayama has, I believe, 1 timeout remaining.
Well, he's probably going to try to run something here to get a really good shot, but they've already accomplished 1 goal. They've run a considerable amount of time off the clock and got it down where it's going to be, right at 1 minute, which really puts a lot of pressure on Placer.
25 seconds off the clock.
If they come up with something good here and score, speaking of Del Oro, then they've really done a good job because they've run the clock down and scored. For Placer, right here, right now, they need to rebound this missed shot.
Katie Dougherty will inbound the ball. Emily Johnson guarded by Rachel Hare and doubled by Tiari Dvorak. And it's a nice little dump pass in, and a foul called right away on Casey Ricks, and that's going to put the shooter on the line for 2 shots.
And Pete, that is just a team's nightmare and a coach's nightmare to make a foul on a player who's out of control that late in the shot clock. She probably wasn't going to be able to get off a good shot. You just bail her out, and that's unfortunate.
Well, Katie Dougherty thinks it's pretty cool.
And I'll tell you what, I don't know the exact stats here, but it seems to me that Del Oro has done some really good free throw shooting here down the tail end of this game.
Dougherty with 1:05 to go makes it a 44-40 lead for Del Oro.
And they're sticking with their zone.
This is Taylor. She's tough under pressure. Gets it into Burns. Misses the layup. The putback. She's fouled by Rebecca Arndt. And that is Rebecca Arndt's
fourth personal foul.
Personal foul.
So they're both playing with 4 now.
And this young lady, who is not the best free throw shooter on the team, has been the best free throw shooter and clutch player tonight with 16 rebounds and 5 straight free throws.
And these 2, Pete, are huge.
Kelsey Burns.
Can you imagine that Kelsey's played, the last minute and a half of the 3rd quarter and all the 4th quarter with 4 fouls.
And Laura Schoenoff is back into the ball game, replacing Jill Taylor.
Maybe to provide a little defensive pressure here.
I think, and some ball handling, too. You're right. She's going to go right after Emily Johnson, the freshman point guard for Del Oro. And that was almost a muff by Johnson, but she's so quick. That's a handoff. Now we have 37 seconds to go. Mackenzie Bailey dishes to Arndt and through her hands and out of bounds. 32 seconds to go. Placer trails by 2, and they have the basketball.
The last 2 sequences for Placer, Pete, have been absolutely perfect. Offensively, they were able to score with a clock stop, which is exactly what they want to do. Now they come down and force a turnover. They need another really good shot here.
Laura Schoenoff looks to Coach Cam. They're doing that dribble weave again. There's Schoenoff, was going to look at 3, and she's fouled and gets the call, but Placer will get the ball out of bounds with 13.9 seconds to go and no shot clock.
Here's the Placer defense.
Timeout.
Double
Placer.
teaming the ball, forcing a very difficult pass. for which the Del Oro girl was not ready. Rebecca Arndt.
Dougherty picks up her third personal.
All right.
13.9 to go, 2-point ball game. Sierra Foothill League Championship hanging in the balance. New gym, Del Oro High School, Loomis, California. It's the basketball center of the universe right now.
I would give almost anything, Pete, right now to be in both of these huddles to hear what these coaches are saying. They have so much experience and so much expertise and knowledge. I'm sure that we can see Coach Camillucci there with 13 seconds. He's probably trying to draw up something really good here on the out-of-bounds play where they might be able to get a nice clear shot at the basket. He's also telling them, what do you do if you score? What do you do if you don't score? Coach Takayama setting up his defenses. Same information. What are we going to do if they score? What are we going to do if they don't score? Because each situation creates a different set of circumstances.
It's like calling two plays in the huddle.
Absolutely. Would have been fun to be in those two huddles.
Tiare Dvorak. Fans are getting on their feet a little bit. Now from the corner, Rachel Hare with 12 seconds bounces it off. Out of bounds, off of Placer, and it'll be Del Oro ball. Timeout, Hillmen. Look at the expression on Tony Camillucci's face. He thought that ball was tipped and out of bounds. He thought the official missed a call then. And I believe Placer, Dave Curry, you see with the fist, they may be out of timeouts here.
Well, we're going to see, look here, if it is exactly a foul or the ball knocked out of bounds. Nice positioning by the post player there.
He thought the ball was tipped. Let's see who he thought it was tipped. He thought Arndt had tipped that ball. And Arndt is pulled her hands back like, don't call it on me, don't call it on me.
Don't call it on me.
44-42. Great team defense by the Del Oro Golden Eagles in this second half. After they were a little nervous, a little sketchy in the first half, they came out, played great defense in the second half, held Placer scoreless for over 6 minutes of the third period.
Let's see if Placer fouls quickly here. Put him on the foul line.
Oh, there was a foul, and after she got away, it looked like Rachel might have tripped her, and it's a two-shot foul on Rachel Hare. And Emily Johnson, the freshman, goes to the line with 9.1 seconds remaining on the clock. And even if she misses the first one, she gets a second shot, Terry.
But that would be okay, because at this point in time, as if you're Placer, what you're hoping to do is trade 2 for 1 or 3 for 1. So you know, even if she makes 2, you still could be okay, because you could trade 3 for 2.
What do you mean trade 3 for 2?
If she gets 2, you make a 3-pointer on the other end.
Well, now
that's
now a 4-point ball game, though.
Well, they're going to have to score twice either way. And they're not going to make it. There's not enough time.
Nope. Jill Taylor with the 3. It doesn't go. And Burns with the rebound. That's her 18th rebound of the ball game, but those 18 rebounds are not going to be enough tonight. A very determined Del Oro Golden Eagles lady basketball team comes away with a 42-46 victory. Down the stretch, it was at one point a 31-28 game. Burns with 2 free throws made it 31-30 after Del Oro had taken the lead early in the fourth period. Johnson hit a couple of free throws, 33-30 Del Oro. Bailey with a basket, 35-30 Del Oro. But Burns with 2 more free throws. Taylor with a 3, and at 4:35 to go, we were all tied up at 35 apiece. Tiare off of a miss on a putback makes it 37 all. Bailey with a steal and a layup. Del Oro takes a 39-37 lead. Jesse Burton hits 1 of 2 from the free throw line, a 3-point lead for Del Oro. Rebecca Arndt with a putback off of a miss, and with 2:04 to go, Del Oro led by 5. But Placer came right back, a 3-pointer by Taylor, and it was a 42-40 ball game. But Dougherty with the 2 free throws, and in the end, Del Oro comes away with a 46-42 win. Exciting finish in the Sierra Foothill League, and now Del Oro has an 8-2 record. Placer drops to 7-3, and unless they can get an upset and get some help next week from the teams, Wood Creek is one of them that actually came back and beat Placer, and then Roseville with their point guard Tiernan, excellent basketball team. But of course, both of those teams' seasons, Terry, are kind of over, and you got to wonder, are they going to come out and play for pride? Are they going to come out and just mail it in, or you never know about that kind of thing. I know Coach Cam would much rather have taken care of business here tonight.
Well, they really would have, but what you speak of there, Pete. Sometimes those teams, they come loose and relaxed, and they've got nothing to lose, and they can knock somebody off, just like the Bear River boys did last night when they knocked off West Campus to put that league race in a tie. So, you got to play the games, and that's why you play the games, because you don't know what's going to happen. And I just thought this game was a really good game tonight, and I know that there are some people that would say, well, a lot of turnovers, sloppy, but you know what? It's a big-time game. It's a championship playoff caliber game. You give credit to the players for playing hard, and if mistakes were made, you say, hey, those were forced mistakes, and there really weren't a lot of mistakes made by either team in this game tonight that were just, they were just throwaways or just goofball type of plays. It was a hard-fought game, and you just can't say enough about the Del Oro defense. Great job
of coaching by Mike Takayama with only 8 players, and one of them was a freshman that had just been moved up from the JV team, and he put it all together tonight and came out of here with the win. And now I think if Placer should end up on the short end of this Sierra Foothill League title chase, I think they're going to look back to that Wood Creek game a few weeks ago in which they led by 17 points, and a talented Wood Creek team came back and got them in the end. That would have made this loss tonight just a tie, or a share for the tie for the league lead, but the Del Oro Lady Eagles have it all in their favor right now. They can do what they need to do. Let's go ahead and thank our sponsors once again for bringing us this game tonight. The Touchdown Productions presentation of the Lady Hillman Road to Arco Arena has been underwritten by Liberty Motors of Grass Valley and Liberty Motors of Auburn. The Alkenbrecht family hopes you've enjoyed this Sierra Foothill League game.
Hanson Brothers Construction and HBE Rentals. The Hanson family continues their support for high school sports.
And by Taylor Heavy Hauling, Richard and Sheila Taylor, proud of their daughter Jill and all of the Lady Hillmen.
And Ray's Radiator Service. Judy and Bob Hillman love to watch their granddaughter, Rachel Hare.
As we all do. And by Hometown Realtors. Sue Thompson and everyone at Hometown Realtors are supporters of Placer Sports.
Sierra West Sports. Donna and Dave Bruce, specializing in team sports, and they support the Hillmen.
And by Touchdown Productions, championship television for the Foothills since 1997. Join us next time. The Allied Gymnasium at Nevada Union High School, the Miners and the McClatchy Dragons.
McClatchy Lions.
Lions, thank you very much. The Sackeye Dragons.
Purple Dragons.
For the Metro League title. Be sure and tune in to these very important games. And it's Nevada Union versus McClatchy exclusively on your Foothill Game of the Week. Alan, why don't you run down that stat sheet for us and tell us what was behind the game tonight.
Well, tonight Placer committed 24 turnovers, which eventually led to them their lead slipping away in the second half. For Del Oro, Mackenzie Bailey finished with 18 points. She had 11 of those points off turnovers, and she had 5 steals on the night for the Golden Eagles. For the Placer Lady Hillman, Kelsey Burns finished with 10 points and 18 rebounds. She had 4 points off turnovers. Tiari Dvorak had 13 points tonight, 6 rebounds. And Rachel Hare finished with 9 points and 4 rebounds for the Placer Lady Hillman tonight. Placer took away 19 from Del Oro, as in Del Oro committed 19 turnovers, but it wasn't enough for Placer tonight.
So Placer won the battle of the turnovers. No, they lost the battle of the turnovers, 24-19. But Del Oro scoring too many off of all of that. How about for Placer? Kelsey Burns with
10 points, 10 points, 18 rebounds.
18 rebounds. Wow, amazing. There's quite an effort. Rachel Hare scored early. She hit 2 3-pointers very early in the ball game, and she ended up with
9 points.
She didn't score in the second half.
Nope.
They shut her down.
She didn't score after the first quarter, I believe.
Mike Takayama there. If we can focus in on him, he's
a happy man.
He's a happy guy, and a well-deserved victory for Mike. A good ball game. Tony and Mike throwing the book in the kitchen sink at one another. Terry punching and counter-punching, but in the end, Del Oro comes away with a 4-point win.
Well, Pete, it's all about the kids, and it's their game and it's their season and so forth. But what a pleasure to watch these two men coach. Two of the finest gentlemen that you'll ever come across in the coaching business. Again, lots of experience. They've been around a while. They know how to take wins and losses, and I'm just I couldn't be happier that we were able to broadcast a game coached by these two gentlemen.
Well, let's get Mike Takayama in here, and Mike, congratulations. I'm not sure if that headset works, so I'm gonna. Yeah, we'll just go ahead.
It's not meant for short people.
I'm going to let you hold it. I'm gonna let you
or my head might be too big now since.
So if anybody told you that you would only score 2 points in your first game in the first quarter against Placer, and that you would hold them scoreless for over 6 minutes in the third quarter, would you believe them?
No, they're a great offensive team. We know that anytime, they can score inside, outside, but Becca did a great job inside tonight for us, and it allowed us to concentrate a little bit more on the perimeter shooting, and we somehow this team gets it done. I'm not sure sometimes how, but it's a young group, but they have a lot of heart.
And you played a young lady off the bench, freshman that hadn't even played with you before.
That's right. Today we got to school and found out somebody had 100. Allie Fletcher had 104 temperature, so we called up a JV player and Nicole Zorio, and she did a great job for us. She got some minutes and did a good job, and as everybody did.
She hit one of the most remarkable shots I've seen at the Earl Crab Gym in the JV game up there. Did you get a chance to see that shot? I think it was near the end of the third quarter.
Yes. So she definitely has range.
Oh man.
So. Yeah, we were hoping she might be able to toss one in for us tonight, but she didn't get that opportunity. But, yeah, given the chance, I'm sure she would have.
Well, Mackenzie Bailey and Emily Johnson in the backcourt, and you got those girls for a few more years, don't you?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty lucky. I'm getting smarter as a coach every second because I have them around for quite a while. So, although expectations might start to go up also. So,
Mike, I was really impressed with your perimeter defense this evening. The amount of pressure you put on the perimeter without giving up any backdoor plays. Is there something particular you told the girls, or is this just basically your standard way of playing defensively?
Yeah, we knew that early on we wanted to concentrate a little bit more on the post because they really hurt us early last game at the post areas, and Hare just blew us out of the water early. So we went back to our contest defense out there, and we've been very successful in defending the back doors all year long, and we have some athletes this year, and that definitely makes a big difference in the way you're able to defend the perimeter. And we were able to switch the screens up top, and we weren't hurt by the pick and pops and stuff. So, I thought we did do an excellent job on the perimeter.
Okay, really impressive in the second half. I remember listening at a coaching clinic one time, Rick Pitino saying, if you're gonna pressure the leads and you're gonna pressure outside as a coach, don't get mad when you give up back doors. Well, you were able to do it without giving back doors. Very impressive performance.
You shut the front door down and you shut the back door down. I think the windows were bolted shut.
Well, we work hard at it, but as well as I do, Terry. The players are the ones that executed out there, and they did a great job.
They did a good job too, Coach Mike.
Thank
Congratulations
you
and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Congratulations, Mike.
Thanks, Terry.
All right, the first game, the first matchup between Placer and Del Oro in girls basketball here at the new gym at Del Oro. The nod goes to Del Oro, 46-42, and that puts them in good shape for not only the Sierra Foothill League title, but the possibility of hosting 2 games in the first round of the playoffs. So if they win the first one, the second one is also at home. And what a great gym to play this. And we want to thank the folks at Del Oro for allowing us to come in here and do this. Bob Christensen, the principal. And again, our well wishes go out to the athletic director at Del Oro, who
Dan Galdo.
Dan Galdo has had the knee surgery and is walking off the court there. He's right there at the center. And so we want to thank our executive producer, Gilbert M. Dominguez. Our Chiron operator, replay, Brandon Duckett, with all those great replays. Camera operators, Grady Fike, R.C. Cameron, and Jamie Pell. Our announcers, Pete Dufour, and my partner for 27 years, Terry Tangney. And the game stats, Allan Barros. Thank you, Alan.
Nice job, Alan. Well done.
And our production assistants, Julie Weiberg. Office manager, Patty Costa. We have an office here at the Del Oro Golden Eagles Nest. The EIC, of course, you know what that means, don't you, Terry? David Bevan, of course you know. Not going to even tell you that that means engineer in charge, because I knew you knew that.
Of course I knew that.
And distribution, ACTV, Casey Dominguez. Seabridge Connections, that'd be Kurt Hagenauer. NCTV would be Bill Carlquist. And Francis Rao and Lou Sitzer take care of us there. And the remote facilities by the commander out in the parking lot, where the pizza is always hot. And the commander maintenance by Plaza Tire and Auto Service. And MaxPreps.com does a great job with the stats. Touchdown Productions, Nevada City Highway, Suite 106, Grass Valley. Give us a call at 274-2206 or 274-2882 and find out how you can get a copy of this game on DVD. And you can transfer videotapes to DVD. They do that as well. And you look out there on the court, and right there in front of you near the that's what I like about girls basketball. You got Jill Taylor, Tiari Dvorak, and is that Katie Dougherty?
I think so, yeah.
Who have probably all played together in the same team in the summertime. After a hard-fought game, smiling, Dad taking a picture there, and it's kind of nice. I mean, you know, there's life, there's death, and then there's basketball.
And when it's over, Pete, it's over. There's no sense celebrating too much, and there's no sense moaning too long. There's another game to be played.
That's right. Well, we saw why both of these teams are ranked among the top 10 in the Sacramento area, and why they are 3 and 4, or were 3 and 4 in the power rankings. And so we'll have to see what happens with the power rankings and what happens next week as we come down the home stretch in the Sierra Foothill League. And this was a good one tonight. Del Oro trailing the entire game until just the first minute or so of the fourth period. They took the lead, and they held on to it. There was one tie in the fourth quarter, so really only had a couple of lead changes the whole game. But Del Oro finished strong, and they get the win, and deservedly so. Terry?
Well, Pete, there's a lot of basketball left to be played. There's another week of league play to go, and you know, you don't know what's going to happen. They are 15, 16, 17-year-old high school kids. Anything can happen in that week. You know, it looks like Del Oro certainly has the upper hand at the moment, but things can change rapidly. And then, of course, you start a whole new season when the playoffs come. You know, and if you win the section title, very few people will remember that you didn't win the league, or you did win the league.
Well, we'll remind him next year. Terry is, Tony is looking for his first league title since 2001, and Mike goes back to 1999 since his last league title, so I'm sure that they will both remember. But let's wrap it up here from Del Oro High School in Loomis. For Allan Barros and Terry Tangney, I'm Pete Dufour. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting high school sports, and we'll see you next time on the Game of the Week. So now, everybody.